Okay. Not gonna lie, I had a great night's sleep, but at the same time, I'm sad. We messed up. We made a boo boo. We straight up failed. As you can see here on the notepad, I'm gonna do this because the notepad is important to see, and to not see the notepad is kind of a problem for me. So I'm gonna lock it here. You can see the notepad in the bottom left. You can see trading view in the middle right, and you can see the overarching trade locker app. Trading views where we're doing our chart work. I'm going to be doing a small amount of chart work on Trade Locker. We'll take trades on both. Both are in demo accounts, and you can pretty much see me. Hi. So, if you're looking at Notepad, let's just go ahead and take a look at that right quick. Right. So, we have had 3 months. First month was good. We got profitable. Almost $2,000 in the profit, which was great for us. April wasn't looking too hot. We screwed up on 3 accounts. Not on 3 accounts, but on 3 different trades, and we didn't get as much. No biggie. This month, this past month in May, has been so rough. So incredibly rough. We messed up so many times, and as a result, we are almost negative $9,000 in the hole. This sucks. It's not fun, and I did not intend to fail. My intention wasn't to fail. My intention was good. Because we have failed, I have to start over 3 months worth of work now. From complete scratch, and we have to go 3 months again. So I won't be at this. I would not have been at this for 3 months. I will have been at this for 6 months. I have to figure out how to stay profitable 3 months straight. I have to understand that I can pick and choose when the trades occur. I also have to understand that my trade ideas can be wrong. That being said, I say let's get into today's stuff, shall we? First things first, before we can really do much of anything, we gotta go to Forex Factory and check news for the day. We have one red folder hitting at 8:30. And I'm pretty sure it's CPI. Which means we can't really trade today. Even if we wanted to. We just can't. We also have an orange folder hitting at 10 a.m. No biggie. Next week looks like we're going to have high impact news every single day. Double red Wednesday, single red Thursday, triple red non-farm employment change Friday. This has been the past month. Like almost every other week has had a red folder. Last week was the only week that didn't have it. And I needed a break from waking up super early. I've been trying to wake up around 6 a.m. to catch the trades, to have a good mindset when I go to take a trade and do the chart work, right? I'm not an early bird. I really ain't. I know trading Asian session is a bad idea, and I know why. I want to get the worm that is early in the morning that says we are going to be profitable under the confluence that there's going to be a large amount of volume in the market. Yeah. Let's get a trading view, shall we? So from yesterday's trade, we entered on a sell position here. We exited the sell position here just before price came down and took out 1, 2, 3, 4 take profits. We didn't even hit the big take profit right here, but I'm not going to complain about that. We did pretty good here. We could have made easily $2,000 back from this move down. We chose to leave market on news because it was already late in the day and we couldn't do much else. I say let's not take a trade. I say instead let's just go over the past couple of trades, shall we? Because ouch. To say the least, ouch. So, scrolling all the way back down. This right here. As you can see, we had some stuff in March. Did I even list March? Pretty sure I did. Yep, March. Boom. Right there. So, how many days are in a month? 31. This is in May. 30, 31. So roughly the same amount of time. How many days did I take a trade? How many weeks did I take a trade? This was the start of the account. I started with $100,000. Cool. My very first trade, I lost $128.91. This was me learning how to trade. I'm pretty sure this was this was my first time trying to figure it out, and it was rough. Let's cross-reference this with March 3rd. This one right here. This were the day. Let's see. This is March 3rd. Over here. So we took this trade on March 7th, 2025. We did another 2 trades. March 20th. We did a trade March 21st, 25th. Looks like we double traded 25th. Same thing 26, 27, 28, 31st. And boom, we have a full month's worth of trade. So what happened on the 7th? Boom, this. I don't think we were supposed to trade the 27th. Non-farm limit change. We had a high impact news. We had 6 folders hit. 3 red on 8:30, 1 orange at 11, 1 red at 12:30 p.m., and then 1 orange at 3 p.m. We had news hit. What was the effect of news? This did not have an effect because the previous was the same, or the actual was the same as the forecast. This right here had one. If it was greater good for currency, it was less, so price should have gone up. And then actual was less than forecast good for currency. It was less than forecast, which means price would have gone down that folder. These right here have special stuffs about them, right? When the president speaks, it has an effect on the market. Need you. You are adorable and I love you, okay? You are adorable, but you're also very, very annoying. You know that? You mash buttons when I don't need you to. Stay. You climb over here, I'm putting you outside this room, understand? President Trump speaks, we have a ton. We have a ton of stuff that occurs in the market. Say a ton. Not really sure what the effect is outside of it'll either go up or down depending on something. I'm not entirely sure what. Fed Chair Powell speaks. Always has an effect. More hawkish than expected is good for currency. Hawkish, we determined earlier on that that's essentially saying if price is got high amount of volume and it's swinging a lot, that price will one likely be headed in the down direction if it's got a lot of volume to it. President Spunk spoke twice in the same day. Once at 11 a.m., once at 3 p.m. I wasn't around for 3 p.m., I don't think. So, I mean, it's fairly simple. We took the trade while at $100,000. We risked the same amount we've been risking. We've only been risking for 1 unit of the S&P 500 E-mini futures stock. And then we lost $128.91 off of that. First trade, no biggie. I didn't have much hope going into it, but at the same time, I was kind of hoping to have actually, had the luck to take a trade and make something off of it. And I'm pretty sure in that same video, you can go back in the channel and look if you'd like. I essentially said I'm not entirely confident in my ability to identify any of the confluences at the moment, and that there is room to improve. We didn't lose a lot. The trade idea was wrong, but I'm also pretty sure we came back that same day and said, oh, we're actually good. We're actually pretty dang good. Actually, I wonder if I can see what happened that week, because so we've been trading the past what 1 2 3 4 almost 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So we've been trading from this week onward. Price went up here. Cool. Huge dip down. We took one trade this week. That was the 3rd. Or the 7th, sorry. That makes most sense. We did some more videos, really learned a little bit more. And then I came back on the 20th. That would have been within this week here. Let's actually make sure about that so we're on the same page. We went from 7th. We came back on the 20th. So 2 weeks later, we skipped an entire week, did videos, learned a little bit, and we came back on a Thursday, that 20th of March, and with a little bit firmer of a grasp on strategies, identifying confluences, and moving into taking a trade. We executed one, and it was fairly okay. It was all right. Let's go to the 20th on this because I know that's a thing. Boom. On the 20th, we had USD. We got one red, triple orange, all dropping at 8:30 and 10. Roughly the same thing we had yesterday. The only red was unemployment claims and President Trump speaking on orange. Overall, not super high impact, but at the same time, it was news. I warned you. Come on. Cat is attention deprived. We feed her. We give her everything she wants and needs, and she still comes up and says, "Hi, I'm going to start munching on every single cord that I see." I'm like, "No, you are not Electric Kitty. You are not a Pikachu. You don't get to munch on anything you like, especially on my stuff. This is too expensive for me to lose." Um, Coming back to this though, we had news on Wednesday and Thursday of the 20th. Technically, that would have been a great day to do stuff on. Great week to take trades on. Would have been really, really nice too. We came back on that Thursday though, and we actually managed to make a profit. Our very first successful trade, and we were up. Go away. We were up $316.09. We did good on Thursday. I was happy about it. We're gold. Okay. Come back. Is that Thursday again? This says Thursday. But as you can see here, it's 10 hours almost. 2649, 1952. That's like, says time. Is it per this right here? So 10 minutes almost is what that would be. If this time right here and this time right here are supposed to match up, that would be what? From 0 to 10 is 10 in the morning. Before 10:30. That was 10 a.m. with 26 minutes on the clock. I want to see. I do. I forgot. I can also take trades on this. We tried to take trades on some NASDAQ stuff as well. Right here. Thursday, March 20th. We took 2 trades. They were both on NASDAQ. Crazy cat. So according to this, my first trade was actually on NASDAQ, not S&P 500. Goes to show you the inexperience I've had. Or at least that I had at that time. But we were on a roll. We were up $731.09 on the same day. This was a mistake on my part. One, I'm blaming it on inexperience, and two, I had legitimately no idea what I was doing. This is over trading from the get-go. Problematic. I quickly change this and I say, okay, we're going to do a single trade today and we're not going to do much. We bombed hard. We went from being positive $731 to being in the hole almost $1,000. Yeah, it's trying to force its way through the bottom of my door, and it knows not to. Good grief, making biscuits on styrofoam. Vicious cat, man. Anyway, yeah, we messed up on the 21st of March. I believe that was this one too. Yeah, it was. Trade idea obviously was down. We wanted to go into a downtrend. We sold high and bought low. But the trade idea was wrong, and I'm pretty sure we didn't get stopped out, but the idea was headed in the direction I didn't want it to go in, and I may have panicked here. Yeah. I mean, we messed up. Nothing much else to say about that outside of we really messed up. And we did this. I'm thinking I'm gonna make. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Where is it? This. This. Let's just find it. It would have been March what? March 20th? March. Boom. March 20th. So my videos and the trades are not lined up. So I didn't upload that video until the 21st. What exactly happened? Let's look. So we had obviously all this taken care of. We had outside of this, we had high. I don't know why I marked this when this was the low. Outside, yeah, this was the most recent low outside of this move here. We had, let's see. This is the hour that we're on. This is also the S&P 500. You see, this is Friday. This is the end of Thursday. This is Friday. This was back when I had my time screwed up, so I couldn't get an accurate read on the chart. I was so my first mistake that I could spot here is my times were messed up. The general market exits, the market closures and the market opens, right? I didn't have a clock or a time to base myself off of, and it wasn't until later that I could like figure that out and correct it to get it like accurate enough for me to take a trade off of and be profitable. I can't say I can base it on luck that we've managed to make any profit in March, but at the same time, it was with a strategy that had been implemented and used years and years ago. Not saying it's a bad strategy, but that in current app versions and current data input, because again, I'm looking at this yellow D up here, that's essentially saying this entire chart is 10 minutes behind. And this was back when I was only using TradingView and I did not know anything about data packages and what I was getting out of the chart. And essentially, I didn't know what I was missing at the time. I didn't realize that this wasn't live data. This wasn't a live chart that I could look at current price action on. So every time news came out, I was confused. I thought, okay, clearly when news is out, there's supposed to be something going on with market. And 9 times out of 10, when news came out, I'm like, okay, so news is out, which is cool. Let's go ahead and figure X, Y, and Z out, right? To get the best trade possible. And if news decides it's going to hit and stop us out, so be it. I don't know anything about it until later on. 99% of the trades I took from that point, from that perspective, terrible because I didn't know anything about it. two, I think, because yeah, you can see it right here before we even take the trade. We're $731.09 in realized profit, and it's not until over here that we start to lose that amount. I don't know what I'm doing with this GAN box. This is on the 5 minute. So I want to rewind this a little bit. I want to see on the hour what's going on. I sit on the 5 minute for a long time. There we go. Okay. So from here, already what I could tell, here's our Asian session here, London session, and this is the time frame in which, and this has not changed from 8 to 9. This right here, I have not changed at all. This is set to 9:50. This is set to 8 a.m. We're looking for our key level to get hit, and from that, for things to really start coming along. So let's just press play. I'm not seeing. I think later on I see this as a fair value gap. I note the SMT divergence on the higher time frame. I know what the SMT divergence means. No, I don't, because I'm still using it on the higher time frame and not on a time frame that is going to be a little more impactful. I have not edited the note here that the SMT is based around the 5 minute confluence and not the hour. So a little bit different. Okay. So we had move all the way through this. That is 8. That is after 8. We had a move. Key level was hit here. It was a big key level hit. Again, this was like right after. No. 5 minutes. 8:05. That says 8:30. So this was right after news. Okay, so news is what hit our key level. No biggie. Going down to the 5 minute, we were looking for the confluences of a break of structure or an inverse for value gap. We technically got the break of structure on 8:30. Right there. There were no other key levels to look at because that had been inversed at that time. And it would have been on the hour that we would have needed to find them. On the hour, we didn't see a fair value gap. We didn't see any imbalances, at least not to my knowledge. Failed retrace because it didn't close up above. This would have been a breaker block. This right here would have been the breaker block. Order block, sweep of the highs. And then from there, push on down. But it wasn't enough. And then from there, it continues higher. And we're in a new trend. Breaks structure here. So now we're in a downtrend on the higher time frame. So the idea should have been we were trading in a down position. with this being the case, we're looking for key level to get hit either high or low. It'll either hit this in continuation or it'll hit this in reversal. I think this right here was a valid fair value gap we could have taken note of, but we chose not to because inexperience. Going back to the 5-minute. So this is where I was leaning more heavily towards my understanding of fair value gaps and breaks of structure, because I understood that fair value gaps were signs of continuation. So I would mark them going, okay, this is something we need to look at because it's important to look at this. This says price is going to continue on down. Right now it's going down. Cool. First retrace back up. That was a breaker block. We did not continue the uptrend. We didn't even get into the fair value gap from this. We continue on downward. We're about to have a closure there. Boom, we broke structure on the 5-minute. This would have been the first sign of, oh, we need to pay attention here because it closed above this high here. From that, we would have needed to look for a fair value gap, breaker block, order block, or an equilibrium. I think we would have gotten a breaker block there. We broke structure, failed the retrace, did not close or go anywhere near this low here. So that would have been our breaker block, sign of continuation. That price would be moving down. We entered the trade. I want to get the moment where we entered it because we entered the trade right there. Okay. We entered the trade here on this candle closure here. Why did we do that? I'm guessing we identified the fact that this was a fair value gap and that this right here inverted it, and from that we entered. We saw this as an inverse fair value gap, and I believe the trade idea is the same as what I have now, and that it was actually going to continue on downward because we had been in a downtrend up until this point, and from that, this would have worked. What happens? What happens? We entered on the down candle here. Obviously, it continues higher. Is there anything special about what happened? Nope, we start moving lower here. We invert this fair value gap. We break structure on the 1 minute, on the 5-minute. We're watching this from the 5-minute. We had a low here. Boom, broke structure on this mini retrace here. We did not close above these highs, so we're still within structure actually for it to continue on downward. Starts moving up. We didn't leave market, did we? I hope we didn't. Okay, this is where I start hunting stuff down because I'm realizing that that trade is no longer active. What happened? I was looking at the risk to reward, and that was a good risk to reward. We had 1 to 2.29. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't too terrible. Right there. Right there's what we got. Okay, so first things first. I'm beginning to realize we did not set up a stop loss. We did not set up a take profit. So right now it's just all over the place with a single line. There's no stop loss up high. There's no take profit down low. This is on the 5-minute that we're looking at this from, and I'm not entirely sure what the heck happened. Outside of price was going our way, right? If we had set up a stop loss, it probably would have been up past the key level, like the high of the sessions, right? To get an overall picture, and then from that, an adjustment back down to better suit the trade, to give us more of a RR. But yeah, I mean, this trade should have been a good one because we entered on the low here on the 1 minute for an inverse value gap. Price went higher, sure, but it didn't break structure. Outside of that, we came back down, back into a break of structure to the downside, or a continuation from this, and it should have continued on downward. So, I'm looking. We at this point, I'm thinking this dunce right here is thinking that the trade's still going. Either the trade's still going, or I've just realized, oh, we lost the trade. Not entirely sure how though, because we thought the trade was valid. We thought it worked. It didn't. Again, we entered on a inverse value gap right here. It was supposed to be a sell. We entered a little bit late because I was trying to figure out the controls to the trading view. We watched price move higher. Did not break structure out of this. We see a bunch of movement back up. As you can see here, we broke structure finally out of this very big downtrend. And from it, price continued even higher. We lost out on this trade here, right there. Yeah, that was that trade. I don't know if I could do any better at explaining that. That was this trade right here. The said we lost $800. I'm looking at $1,437.50. This right here is wrong. This is without a doubt completely. Mm. I've got a long ways to go. I understand the mistakes I made along the way, and I think I can get better at it. I thought I'd make a video. Like I'm in my own head at the moment, thinking back and forth. If I chose to go back in time, what would I do differently? I'd choose, with the knowledge I have today, to really dial in. Because today and right now, I am more than confident in saying I have made too many mistakes throughout day trading at the moment to really say I'm good at it. I've made too many mistakes even after the next 3 months. If I manage to make 3 months of profitability off of the demo accounts, I'm still going to say I'm not comfortable with day trading. It's a risky business. There's risk involved. I could lose a lot of money. I could have to quit everything, sell everything, and get a job, and still probably wouldn't be able to pay off the debt if I decided to trade a live account. I understand my risk management and what it means to manage risk now. I also understand that my trade ideas are not always going to be right, and the results others have is not the results I will have. Though I could be a really good trader one day, I'm never going to match their results. Comparison is the killer of joy, and I've been doing a lot of that recently. I've been comparing myself to all these high up fancy YouTubers. Whoa, you make this, I could make that too. I keep forgetting my grain of salt. They went through years of hardship to get to where they are, and I'm in the boat. I am on that track right now. This has been a long video. I've only ever dissected one video throughout this. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've come a long way. I've corrected most of them. There's still a lot to go. I think I'm good right now. I'm going to continue watching TJR's videos. That's the guy on YouTube that I've been watching to really study how to trade. I've been using his strategy, or ICT strategy, that he then dumbed down into simple terms for a dumb brain. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, I understand there wasn't really much to it outside of me roasting myself in a video I had no experience on, and from that, moving on to I'm going to get better. I know that's not really good content, but at the same time, the last time I did something like this, it helped tremendously, because I mean the week after we made roughly $12,000, which was huge. That was probably the best week I had in the 3 months that I had been day trading up until that point. Now, I know I've been able to do that for a solid week. I know I can do it for a solid month. If I can prove to myself I can do it for a solid month, 3 months is going to be a breeze. These past 3 months have been quite difficult, and I have been wanting left, right, and center to get into my live account. But before I can do that, I need 3 months of green across all of the demo accounts. Just needs to be a thing. Has to be a thing. Today, I'm looking at trade. We've consolidated into this. I don't think price is going to move out of it. I don't think I want to push my luck. We have $8,000, almost $9,000 to dig ourselves out of, and I'd very much like to see that number gone. Monday next week, we have June. This is Friday. Sunday, we have FOMC stuff going off. Okay, sure. We have a crap ton of red all throughout next week. I'm going to restart my demo account completely set it back to 0. I'm going to set everything back to 0 completely. And I'm going to take the sweet, precious time that I need to really dial in day trading and learning it. Not from the ground up, but from the continuation point of I don't want to lose anymore. And I want to get better, so much better, that 95% of the trades I take, it could be 80, it could be 70, so long as it's above that 50% mark, are green trades. I'm making a profit back from them, and we can move on with actually taking trades to a live account. Unfortunately, that's also going to mean I might need to get a job here soon. So, next 3 months are going to be very, very stressful for me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I understand all that, all of what I've said up to this point. That being said, I'm going to go have breakfast now. It's 8 a.m. Market's not moving. I'll see y'all in the next one. Stay tuned for a stream. We'll be streaming from 2 p.m. and I do believe I'm going to be late to it. I believe we're going to be streaming from 2 p.m. all the way through till 7 p.m. So Standard Eastern Time. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back in a little while. See ya.